the worst thing I saw was the Liberian Civil War. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like running with your whole family with thousands of people running, educated, poor, rich, all running for their lives. And you have to run, walk among the dead, freshly killed. There's nothing like not having food to eat and you starving, your children are starving, and when the wind blows, you smell the dead that they had killed. There's nothing like war.
How did you overcome that? What did you?
I've overcome that.
Is that through your writing? Or?
Yeah, well, writing healed me. Um, Writing has been my healing, and that's been my children's healing because we talk about it openly. If you talk about it to the kids, and when I do lectures around the country sometimes, and when the kids are there when we're talking about it, how I know when my son was the first son, he was born 85. When he was, that was 1992, so he was what, 7 years old? He was almost 7 years old. And our first 2 years in the States, my husband had a good job and we didn't know about racism much. And because of racism, they fired my husband at a community college. So he came home and he's very quiet. My husband is very quiet. He came home and he said, I just lost my job. And he says, they just hit a black man in the department. I was in Grand Rapids. And so I started crying. Because we were new to America, we were refugees, we were former professors in our country, and there we were trying to reestablish ourselves. So I was crying, and my son came and he put his arms around me. And he says, Mom, stop crying, it's gonna be okay. Remember the war? Remember the war, we never have food to eat. He said, look at us, Mom, it's gonna be okay. And he was wiping my eyes. And so the kids got strong because they knew that we could make it. We have come this far, And I've never forgotten, every time we came to a roadblock in America, my kids like, we can make it. Remember we went through the war, And yes.
How does it make you feel when you hear people talk about like small life issues and you literally had to flee your country with the only things you have is on your back? How do you manage that situation where?
Well, one of the things the war has taught me is that nobody's problem should ever be minimized. Nobody's problem should ever be minimized. You don't have to go through war to appreciate the fact that people are at different levels. Okay, I'm stronger now because I survived war. And I survived cancer. When I was diagnosed with cancer in 2014, and they say it was an aggressive cancer, it could kill me, and chemo could kill me, and I'm like, I'm not gonna die. I went through war, guys. and the doctor told me what not to eat and what to eat, and I'm like, look at these guys, they gotta be stupid. I'm gonna eat my African food. I'm gonna stick with my diet. It's good. I'm not gonna eat American food. And I didn't eat their food. I never threw up one day. I had 6 months of chemotherapy. I never felt like throwing up one day. I went in, because I had good insurance, because I'm a professor. So I went in on Monday. They had me on chemo and hooked me up until Thursday. So I'm hooked up, taking all these terrible medications. Then they released me. The first time they released me, all the things they said were going to happen to me were beginning to happen. Like you start feeling like you have petrol oil in your mouth and stuff. So I called my daughter at home. I'm like, okay, do you know this bowl? Because I prepare all my food. Every time I got better, I would prepare my food and put it in the freezer and cook for the time I have energy. I will cook. Our food is hard to cook. And so I said, go in the freezer, get tteokbokki out. Tteokbokki is, is made with the bitterest eggplants, tiny little eggplants that look like sweet peas and very bitter. And I say, get it out and made with red oil and some kind of country soda. It's very different and very good. It fights cancer. So I say, get it, defrost it. That's why I'm eating and cook me some fresh rice. Now, I'm coming from the car after chemo. I can barely walk. I make them take me to my dining table and I eat a big I eat a big bowl of my food, and then I go to bed because when you have chemo, you're gonna be ill, you know. And so all the pain everywhere, you pain until your eyeballs pain, your nails pain, everything pains. And the first day is pain, the second day is pain, the third day is exhaustion. You can't lift up your own foot. By the fourth day, I'm up. I'm up. By the fifth day, I'm driving. And my neighbor's like, are you okay? You doing chemo? I'm like, yeah, I lost my hair, but I can walk. I can, you know. So I went through it. I remember by the fourth month, I had a team of doctors come to visit me at the hospital, interviewing me about how do you do it. I'm like, I eat African food. I don't eat none of your junk. I don't eat your crap that you eat. I eat my food.